Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, welcome. My name is Miranda and this is where I talk about books and anything to do with books. Today we're going to be talking about Bookshops and Bonedust and Funny Story by Emily Henry. So first I'm going to talk about Bookshops and Bonedust. This is the prequel to Legends and Lattes, and to be honest, when I purchased this, that's what I thought I was buying. So I think this was in a haul. This is in another video. It had to have been a haul. And I was talking about the summary, and I was confused on, I kind of mashed the summary of this and Legends and Lattes together, so I was completely wrong about what it was about. So the main character is Viv. She's an orc. Her and her group of mercenaries were fighting a necromancer. She gets injured, and so she has to stay in a small village for a while to heal. But she ends up finding this group of basically misfits, and they have some adventures together. But in the meantime, she becomes friends with this bookshop owner, and she helps fix up this bookshop that's kind of not doing well financially. So like I said earlier, this is the prequel to Legends and Lattes, and it's recommended to read Legends and Lattes first and then this one in the order that it was written. But after reading some reviews, some people suggest to read the prequel first because this is a summer romance because of Legends and Lattes, and knowing that this character isn't somebody who follows over into the next book. A lot of people said they had a hard time even caring about the characters, so take it upon yourself which order you want to read it. I just accidentally read it in this order. It did have such a wholesome feel. I really loved Fern, the bookseller, and Viv's relationship. As a book lover, and I know that other book lovers out there will relate to this, she had the ability to recommend the perfect book for somebody just by getting to know them a little bit, and they end up falling in love with reading. And to have that ability, that would be perfect. And I know readers know, because when somebody finds out that I read a lot, the first question is, oh, what's your favorite book? Or what do you recommend? Those are such hard questions to answer because it depends on my mood, and the things that I like does not mean that the next person is gonna think it's a good book and that they'll resonate with it. And there's a cute little pet in here, an owl dog, that doesn't warm up to Viv no matter how many treats she gives it until she saves the owl dog's life. Then it's like, okay, maybe I do like you. I loved that. I also really liked the standoffish orc carpenter that ended up being a poet. Oh, of course he did. And he's in the book so little, but every time he's in there, I'm like, oh, there he is again. He's gonna have something it's every time he talks, he has something to say. He doesn't just talk to be talking, you know? And the way we get to go through Viv's journey, falling in love with reading, because in the beginning of the book, she says she's not a reader, never enjoyed it. And I have this theory that the way we teach, okay, I might upset some people, but the way we teach here and push books on kids when they're in school, which they should be reading, don't get me wrong, they should be reading, but the way we do it makes, at least in my case, they push books on to people when they don't want to read, and so then they have to like force themselves into it, and they won't want to pick up a book. They're not interested beyond that point. So of course people leave high school thinking they're not readers because they were pushed into books they didn't like. I think we need to have a bigger option for these reports and things that kids need to be doing in high school. That's for another day. I don't know why I went off into that. Oh, because I was talking about her falling in love with reading because she didn't think she was a reader. Anyway, overall, I gave it a 3.5, which now I'm having a problem with my ratings because initially rate a book right after I read it, but then I'll let it settle for a few days in my mind, and then I will compare it to, like this one I gave a 3.5. I'll compare it to another 3.5 that I gave in the past, and I'm like, those aren't the same. This one was better or whatever. So I'll stick with the 3.5, not quite a 4, maybe it's a 3.75. Anyway, just read it. I will be picking up Legends and Lattes and seeing how well I like that. I did need just a little bit more, maybe action or complexity, but this is a cozy fantasy, so maybe that's the whole cozy fantasy vibe. Okay, next book is Funny Story. Sorry, I had to adjust the lighting. I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I'm an Emily Henry fan, but this fell really flat for me. So the female main character, Daphne, she's a librarian. She gets engaged to her boyfriend, Peter, and she drops everything, her friends, her job, everything, to move to his hometown to get married to him. On his bachelor party night, he realizes he's in love with his childhood friend and comes back from the bachelor party, breaks up with Daphne, and gives her a week to move out because him and his childhood friend are gonna move in together. And since she has no friends and no money because she has no job, she ends up moving in with the childhood friend's ex-fiance. So to make the exes jealous, they act like they're in a relationship and of course fall in love. I will say this had good banter back and forth. There were some moments where I chuckled out loud. I liked that. I also liked that Miles' breakup movie was Bridget Jones's Diary. That was a cute little moment. So this is where I think I'm gonna get a lot of hate. This storyline was predictable. I've read it multiple times before. The characters were forgettable. Beyond making this video, I haven't thought about the story or their characters, and I just didn't get attached to anybody. And I do think that this is a me problem. I don't think that this is an Emily Henry problem. I just don't think that romances are doing it for me anymore. Just a simple romance is just not enough, which is a little disappointing because I have a lot of romances on my TBR this month, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'm gonna get to those romances. I don't know. Overall, my rating is 3.0. Not bad, not good. I might gift this to one of my friends she's been wanting to read this and just hasn't picked it up yet. There's no reason for me to keep it. I'm not gonna reread it, although it's pretty. Like, I like the spine on my shelf, so is that a reason to keep a book? I don't know. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up. I never know how to end the videos. Like, I need a little thing to say at the end. So I'm like, I'll say, okay, I'm done, and then keep talking. I just don't know. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.